Good morning, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a completely different video to anything I've done before, in the sense that I'm going to take you back to where my medicine journey started all of those years ago. So back in 2016, when I first started self-studying my GCSEs at the age of 35, I want to take you back to Coventry, which is my hometown, and just reflect back on everything that it took to get me to where I am now. Why am I doing this? So two reasons. The first reason is because I wanted to share a little bit more about the beginning of my journey, and I think that's the part that's gonna hopefully motivate you and maybe inspire you to start your journey as well, because those were the most challenging, difficult years to date, I would say, in terms of knowing how to study, knowing where to go to get advice, financially, emotionally. It was just really tricky to get started and to stay on the journey, where every single person I was coming across was telling me to do something else. So I wanted to kind of take you back, and also for me, reflect on those times to almost appreciate a little bit more where I am now, and just thinking about the fact that I'm graduating in 2 years from now. I started fourth year approximately 3 weeks ago, and I explained this on my previous vlog a few days ago, that for some reason, and I'm not too sure why, I can't put my finger on it, but I'm struggling to get stuck in. I normally would be up at kind of 6 o'clock, get to the gym, you know, have really productive days, and there's something kind of holding me back and stopping me, and I don't know whether it's procrastinating because I'm scared of success. And I thought that by going back to where it all started all those years ago, it would allow me to reconnect with my why. Why am I on this course? Why do I want to be a doctor? What impact do I want to have in the world? So it's a 2-hour drive. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a cup of coffee for the road. I'm excited to go home. I haven't been home for so long, and just go back to all the places. And there are some places that might be a little bit emotional, like I want to go back to I think it's called Cash Converter, and I'll tell you the story a little bit later on. But when I used to run out of money for petrol, I used to kind of look around my bedroom and see what I could sell to pay for petrol. And I remember selling my SLR camera that I had for years and years so I could pay to get to Manchester College to do my access to medicine. So it's all of those things that I kind of want to reconnect with today, and hopefully by the time I get back tonight, it will kind of have put me back into a good place mentally, where I'm ready just to push forward 100% in year 4, so I will be successful, because this is my biggest year at med school. I sit my finals this year. So let's go on this adventure together. Please comment, let me know if you're starting your journey as well. So this is the walk that I would make before sitting every single GCSE, usually coming from Starbucks and heading to this place, the Methodist Central Hall, right in the middle of Coventry city centre. And I would usually hang around outside this area until it was time to go in, just to get some fresh air. I was always very nervous about going in to sit these GCSEs because I didn't really know what to expect. But when I came here to sit my GCSEs back in 2017, this area here was a cafe, so it had like tea, coffee, cakes, bathrooms on the left, and then you'd do your registration around this area. And once again, this was set up so that any person sitting GCSEs could just sit down and wait to be called to the classroom before the exam. When it was time to go in to sit the exam, we would walk through these double doors down to the classroom. you can hear me okay, but this is the classroom where I sat my GCSEs, and it's obviously changed a lot because it's not exam season, and I think they're using this as maybe a music school, but I was basically sat on a table around here for my exam, and the invigilator was at the front here. I remember everything. I remember the smell, the feeling that I had. I remember being at the front for English. Maths, I was at the front as well, around here. And I just remember this feeling like it's game on, you know, it's game on. But it's just so surreal being back here. This is where it all started. And it's all coming back to me, to be honest with you. All of those people that kept saying to me, in a way, who do you think you are to be able to pull this off? Like, no. But I did it, you know? And you know what I have with me today? And I think it's making me just realise how far I've come. And I think I'd forgotten in a way just how much work it took to even get onto the Access to Medicine course, come into places like this, just full of 17, 18-year-olds, perhaps resitting their GCSEs. Some of them were even 16, but sitting there and just being so grateful that I was being given, in a sense, this second chance at sitting these GCSEs, because I'd never really had the opportunity to be able to study and, like I said before, have all of the books and the resources that I needed. And somehow I did it. Somehow I pulled it off. So yeah, this is the room, and obviously it looked very different, but I remember everything. I remember the way I felt, I remember the smell, I remember how it felt to be able to answer some of those really complicated questions in my maths GCSE, and walking out and feeling so proud of the hard work that I'd put into it, you know? So the bottom line is, if you're in a position now where you're having to think about sitting GCSEs, I hope this inspires you, and I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Yes, it might be challenging financially and also emotionally, but listen to your heart. And when you're in that exam and you look at that paper, connect with your heart and know why you're there, and allow those feelings of wanting to be of service and wanting to give, let those drive you through all of the adversities, because you will get through it. So I'm going to see what else I recognise and take you on a bit of a tour, but it feels really peaceful now being here, and I felt really guided to come back here today for some reason. And I think it's because I kind of felt disconnected over the last few weeks to why I was doing medicine, but coming back here, it's almost feels like I've been plugged back in a sense, and I feel very, very calm and at peace. So I think I'm just gonna maybe stay here for a few minutes and just allow these feelings to kind of land. But wow, I haven't been here since 2017. I sat my first exam June 2017, so it's been 4 or 5 years. Wow. So these days, as many of you know, I tend to go to Pret to study. Back in 2016-17, I used to go to the Coventry library because I couldn't afford to go to any coffee shop. But I spent many hours here studying mainly maths and using Mr. Hegarty maths. And I started off probably by using books like this because my knowledge was very limited. But I used to sit at these desks on the first floor and spend anywhere between 4 and 5 hours every single day just going through videos and past papers. So there was a row of desks on the first floor across here, and then perpendicular here there was about 6 or 7 desks as well. The next place I always used to go to, mainly if I felt a little bit demotivated or lonely, was to church. And I always used to just sit and say a prayer and ask for guidance. And I know that a lot of you may not be spiritual or religious, and that's absolutely fine, but I just wanted this video to be, authentic and show you how I gain strength and motivation. The fourth place that I wanted to revisit and show you was Cash Generator. And you may be wondering why I'm bringing you to this shop, but this shop played a huge role in me being able to travel to Manchester to study the Access to Medicine course back in 2018 to 2019. Many times I would simply just run out of money, and I had a few valuable things left over from Dubai, such as my SLR camera, and I brought it here and sold it for a lot less than what it was worth, but I knew that it would allow me to get to college. So after a morning of revisiting so many different places, I decided to stop for lunch, and I went to my favourite place, which is Nando's. And it was just nice to be able to sit down and just reflect on the fact that, I'm now in 4th year, and in 2 years from now, I'm going to be a doctor. And I also thought about what can I do to help you guys to get motivated and start your journey. So please let me know, leave me some comments and let me know what else I can do to support you so that you can be in the same situation as I am now. Like I said, just 2 years away from being a doctor, and I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So just let me know. So a few months ago, I received an email from the University of Bristol, and specifically one of the GP mentors. And he was, I think, quite curious about my vlog and why I decided to start the vlog on YouTube, and asked me if I'd be interested in writing an article for the newsletter which goes out to all of the GP mentors on the course. So I said yes, but it's taken me until now to really put together the reasons why I wanted to set up the YouTube channel, and I managed to do that this afternoon after feeling very inspired just from being back in Coventry.